we have our virtual appointment to go over medications and our timeline. So we're gonna do that first and then go from
Thanks for meeting me today. I just kind of wanted to go over a couple of things with you guys regarding your upcoming IUI cycle.
Yes.
It looks like you guys signed the consent. Any questions about the consent?
I don't think
Pretty
so.
straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So Dr. Diego has you taking Femara. Have you taken Femara in the past?
Yes, I have. And I already picked up the prescription, so I thought
The first medication that you'll start taking is the Femara. You'll be doing the 5 milligram dosing. So just with that, just make sure you're taking 2 tablets around the same time every evening. If all labs come back baseline on Friday, it's likely that you'll start medication Friday night. So you'll take it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and we'll most likely see you the following Friday for your appointment to see how you're stimulating from the medication. The only side effect that most patients really complain of with the Femara is headaches. So it sounds like you've taken it before. So have you experienced anything that's not fun with the Femara? Or
I think it had like hot flashes
Okay.
and like some moodiness, but I don't think it was
Pretty
that
minor.
bad.
Yeah, pretty not bad.
Nothing crazy. Manageable.
Perfect. So it's tolerable for you then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
So it sounds like you guys have everything. I'll kind of go through your records just to make sure we have thyroid and CBC. Let me know by portal message Friday morning if you don't get a period. We'll get you on the schedule for blood work. And then I'll make sure that we get your Amadril called in. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your day. If you have any questions, let me know.
Okay.
And if you don't have a period by Friday, send me a message so we can get you the blood work.
Okay, perfect. Thanks so much.
Sounds great.
Alright,
Thank you.
welcome.
Bye.
See ya.
You too. Just got done with our virtual appointment. I go in this Friday for blood work, and that'll start kind of our timeline of taking medication. Just parked, and I'm gonna go up and get my blood drawn to make sure we can start medication and start our first round of IUI. So let's go. So I just had my first cycle visit, and then they did an ultrasound and blood work just to make sure I'm at baseline, which it looks like I am, so that's great, starting Femara. So now we start Femara for 5 nights, 5 milligrams a night. So then next week I go in, after all the Femara is done with, a few days after day 5, I go in and they do an ultrasound again to make sure that it's working and my follicles are maturing. And then we'll get instructions on when we do the trigger shot and when to schedule the IUI. Hello, this is the last day of Femara. I'm doing pretty good. I just get some hot flashes, but for the most part, it's not affected me too much this time, which is great. It's usually the progesterone, which I start after the procedure, that always affects me worse. It is the last day of Femara, and then we go back next week for our measurements and just see how everything's progressing. I just wanted to just go in for the follicle measurement, which we have an appointment tomorrow. So I'm definitely excited to check in with the doctor and just kind of see how the progress is going. And then after tomorrow, we should find out if we need to up the dosage, or I think when we can do the injections and the IUI procedure. So we should have some news tomorrow. Good morning. It is pretty early today. I think it's like 7:30, 7:40. But we are on our way to our second cycle visit to get our measurements. from our cycle 2 visit. So during this visit, they just measured the follicles to see how the femora was working, to stimulate them. They were measuring at a 7.1 millimeter before I started femora, and today, 7 days later, they are measuring at a 10 millimeter. So they're making slow progress. I will probably have to go back in a day and a half to measure them again. And depending on my blood work that comes back later today, we'll see if I have to do another round of femora or see if they will still make progress. So we'll be able to find out then what the plan is. Tiny bit disappointed. I know this thing takes patience, but I was hoping they were making good progress. But you know, whatever it takes, it's fine. So hopefully I don't have to do another 5 days of femora. We'll see what the blood work comes back with later today.
Use 10.9. Let's just hope our ovaries are collaborating. The right is looking kind of quiet still. I mean, you have a ton of follicles, but they're all pretty much the same size. So if you want to measure some of the bigger ones, we'll see what size they are. 9.2. Shrinking. They got a little smaller, yeah. I think for you it's finding that sweet spot with the dosing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with patients with PCOS, they're really hard because we don't want to. Yeah. No, we don't want to overstimulate you. Oh, you got something on
This
your
left
left.
side looks like it's doing some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, looks good.
So on the left, she had an 11 and a 9.4.
Oh, wow.
That's the left side and this is the right side. You
Oh,
kind of see the difference?
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Let's go measure some of these a little while.
.7, so it grew,
Good.
which is good. It's a good sign. Uh, 10.6, so that may have grown as well. So they're definitely improving, especially that one, so that's a really good sign. I don't think we'll have to re-initiate the femora.
Okay, cool.
But we'll definitely see what labs are doing today.
Just left my cycle 3 visit, making some progress. My right ovary went completely silent, meaning the follicle stopped maturing completely and kind of shrunk from last time. But on my left ovary, it went from 10 millimeters to 13 millimeters. One follicle did. So that's improvement. And then a few more were 10 millimeter. So you just need one egg to fertilize. We don't think I have to do 5 more days of medication to re-stimulate them since one is progressing. So that's nice, but my hormone levels from my blood work will let us know, and then I'll probably have to go back Monday or Tuesday for another measurement to see how we're progressing. So that's a little update for you. Good morning. On my way to my 4th cycle visit to see what's going on. Just left my cycle 4 visit. And we have great news. My right ovary is still completely quiet, so no eggs are maturing on that side. But my left side, the biggest follicle, is now 19 millimeters, where Friday it was 13 millimeters. So it did quite a jump, which is great. You want them between 17 and I think 21 millimeters before you do the trigger. So we are right on target. There was a second follicle that was 16 millimeters, so it's almost there. So we might not pull the trigger till tomorrow night, to kind of give that egg the chance to grow 1 more millimeter or 2. So we might do the trigger shot tonight, or we might do it tomorrow night. But I'm really excited, and then the procedure is typically 36 hours after that, so your body can release the egg and whatnot. So really good news. I was kind of worried I would have to do another 5 nights of medication and not completely start over, but kind of take a few steps back. But it doesn't look like that's the case. So you guys, I'm really excited that we're on the right track and my body came through. Typically it takes 2 to 3 IUIs before it works. So fingers crossed it works the first time. I'm optimistic, but it's okay if it doesn't, because then we'll just start again. So I'll keep you guys updated. We'll do the trigger shot and IUI, and I'll make sure to update you there. Thanks so much for watching and keeping up with my story. I hope anyone out there going through it doesn't feel as lonely, and it'll all work out. Just trust the timing, and when it really happens, you'll just be that much more grateful. Just like and subscribe if you want to keep following along with the journey, and fingers crossed. It's a quick one. Thanks, bye-bye.